Welcome to another Your Tech Report video. Today, an interview with Marcel Campos from OnePlus, all about the OnePlus 12, the Pad 2, and all the new releases from OnePlus as featured on our SiriusXM show every single week. Enjoy. Back on Your Tech Report, thank you for being with us each and every single week. Don't forget to connect with us on all our socials at Your Tech Report, and of course our email address is yourtechreport.com. Marcel Campos is the marketing director for a company that we love talking about on the show, which is OnePlus North America. Marcel, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I'm excited to have a conversation with you because it's been a really busy summer for OnePlus. How are you feeling? Tell me about, obviously, the past couple launches. You've gotten through it. People are now getting hands-on with devices, able to pick them up in different stores. What's the reaction been to the various launches? And we can go all the way back to the new phone and the watch if you want. But, of course, the OnePlus Pad 2 is definitely on the focus of our minds right now.
Oh, yeah, we are having like a blast of new product launches. We have new kind of products in the market in different areas. Like you mentioned, the Pad probably is the main star right now at this moment in the year. But more things are coming. So we are pretty busy bringing new products to the market. So keep tuned, more stuff is coming. But yes, the Pad right now, it's the star.
So tell me something, give us a little bit of background for a second. How long have you been at OnePlus and what drives the innovation with this company? Because I really think that when it comes, especially to the mobile market of devices out there, there's your iPhone people, but when it comes to, people who are not on iPhones, OnePlus has really been a brand that's grown and getting way more time in the spotlight. And I think it's absolutely deservedly so. I mean, I've been playing with the phone for several months now and everything from the performance in gaming, the high refresh rate, to the incredible display, to the camera system. I mean, I can't believe we're actually, judging phones on cameras these days. But really, there's a lot of excitement around the brand. And I think people are definitely gravitating towards it, especially when they're looking at the landscape of everything that's out there. So what goes into the innovation that comes into the products?
I think we are putting a lot of innovation for a long time already. So I'm in the company for a little more than a year. And I think now I can really speak about what we are doing, why we are doing. I learned a lot about the philosophy and also the main drivers behind the products and new products creation. So this is really cool. What I can tell you is the kind of products we make, they definitely will work for everyone, but we try to focus mainly on those guys who love technology. So if you are a kind of nerd, and you love to get into the details of specs and understand what the phone can do of our other products like the Pad we just mentioned, or the watches, or the earbuds, all those products, we do with a lot of care, and we enable the end user to really customize every single thing inside the product. So they have full access to all kinds of information, even the speed of animations they can change.
So it's funny you mentioned that because right before this interview, and I'll give you a little glimpse behind my curtain here, I get devices, I talk about them on different shows, I use them. Then my son inevitably comes down to my office and steals everything that I have. No joke, he comes to a pile, he's like, oh, what's this? Until I basically tell him, go ahead and go use this. And I said to him, because he's been using the OnePlus 12 right now, the phone, for quite a while, and I said, what are the favorite things about the phone? And he goes, and this is no joke, okay, and he's 14 years old. He goes, high refresh rate, it's great for gaming, the color display, it's sharp, the camera, the chipset is good and fast. And what caught me a little bit by surprise, I know he's into gaming, Buzz, that it's about the specs for him. And he's 14 years old. He's not even as geeked out as I would get to at this point. Yet, at the same time, you have the great specs on this device and all the devices that you come out with. But for the mainstream, it's still an incredible contender against all the options out there. And it stands out, to be perfectly honest, above a lot of those.
Yeah, like pretty much. Well, your kid behaves just like my kid. So I think we have twins without knowing.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
tell me about it.
a lot of people can correlate to that. The young generation, they are very connected with whatever is interesting to them. And in that case, our kids love games. And if they want to have the best performance on games, they're going to start to pay attention to stuff that other people don't. And the specs speak super loudly for the gaming community. And yes,
Yeah.
we have insane specs in our products, all of them. Even the pad is 144 refresh rate. So it's quite high. Even for games, the pad will work like marvelous, like no other. So we pay attention to those small details because it counts for this kind of audience. They really appreciate that. It changes the experience. And we are looking towards this kind of, for some people, is our small improvements they barely notice. But for some people, like your son, like my son, or gamers, if we classify in that way, it's a huge change in their experience. So we really pay attention to that, really bring this available to everyone. And we try to make in a very affordable price comparing to our competitors in the market, making that not only a no-brainer choice if you really care about those things, but also making a kind of device that has so much quality for what you pay for each dollar you put on a device, that when you start looking on the numbers and try to understand why I should buy this brand, you say, whoa, it's way more than I could imagine. And
Yeah.
that's what we are looking for. That wow moment, that wow feeling, that's what we are looking for.
The Pad 2 is available. You can go out and buy it right now, starting at $689.99 Canadian. It's being marketed as a flagship productivity tablet. How do you define that?
Oh, it's easier than you thought, actually. I know it's a little bit like, oh, how that could be. Well, first of all, we are the first one, and right now at this moment, we are probably the only one in North America with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 available in a pad. Nobody has it. So this is the best processor available for any Android, and also is the best for AI stuff. So there's nothing that gets close to that. The other thing that's quite interesting, our tablet, tablets, pads, whatever you call it, they are big phones with huge screens. You can say something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because the kind of same architecture working in the background. But we really put a lot of efforts on the screen. So it's a 3K screen, which you don't find in any competitor in the market right now.
Hmm.
And it's a Dolby Vision screen. So when it goes for entertainment, oh my God, you have the best quality you can have in a tablet. And a lot of people use tablets and pads for entertainment and work. And on the entertainment side, we cover with a insane quality screen, and at the same time with 6 different speakers around the product that surround the product. So we're gonna have like amazing audio and video quality experience.
Now, you do a really good job at listening to the community and the feedback that comes in. How much of that feedback went into the design of this particular product, um, especially when it comes to the price? Because under $1,000 Canadian, that is pretty insane for what you're getting in this package.
Yeah, you have like if you like specs, 12 gig of RAM counts a lot.
Yeah.
The Snapdragon processor, the latest one, counts a lot. The 3K screen with Dolby Vision counts a lot. The 6 speakers with holo audio, that audio surrounds you and you can't believe on that coming from a tablet, that counts a lot. So those things make a lot of sense. And when it comes to this kind of world where you put a lot of specs and you try to reach the best price possible, that's where our brand shines, because we don't compromise quality. What we are doing is trying to avoid a lot of middlemen or a lot of people that are in the middle and sell it direct to the end user through our own website or through our partners like Best Buy and Amazon. All of them has it, but we try to remove everybody that is in the middle, creating higher prices or higher costs or more margin that should be added. We try to cut all of that and go straight and present the best possible product we can. So yes, you're not going to see us on the carriers right now. And the reason why is because we want to offer the best possible price with the best hardware available.
With the pad, there are a couple of accessories. There's the Stylo 2. There's the smart keyboard. How do they complement the experience, especially on the productivity side?
I think that's where it comes from, right? Like that's why we have the keyboard. That's why we have the styles. People want it. People want to do different stuff with that huge screen, like I mentioned. So we improved the styles from the first generation to the second one in terms of pressure levels. If you're using the styles, probably you're gonna do not only notes, but also you may want to draw stuff. make drawings, and there's different levels of making drawings, from very simple ones to very professional ones. And there's a lot of applications that can be used for that. So this new styles has 3 times more pressure levels than the previous one. So it's like from 4,000 to 16,000 pressure levels. So the level, when we say that, to translate better to who is listening to this, that means you have way more definition on how much pressure you put on the stroke, and how thin or how thick the stroke will be when you're drawing. So this is the kind of details you're looking for. And now we also add this pressure sensitivity on the body of the styles, that you can squeeze the styles. And when you do that, you can activate different kind of features. For instance, if you press and hold now and you are in presentation mode on PowerPoint on your pad, you activate the laser point inside PowerPoint, the virtual laser point. And because the styles now has this sensor movement, so it senses all the movement that you do with the styles, you can point to the screen and it looks like you are doing a real laser, pointer on the screen, because you're using the PowerPoint laser point, but with all of that integrated and working together, it looks like you are doing a real laser point. So this is really cool to use. And there are many other things we are doing on that. I could spend hours explaining to you only the the styles itself. But the keyboard also is really cool. We add two more arrows of keys, and we have those special function keys now dedicated for like sound or changing the screen, or these kind of things people love to have over there. It's like quickly go and change like the brightness or volume or whatever. So those things are really cool. The keyboard now is detachable from the back side of the pad, so you don't need to compromise the protection on the back side of the pad. You can remove the keyboard and keep like the back part over there, or you can like create more distance from the keyboard and the screen itself by detaching them. There is Bluetooth on that. There is a small battery on that, so it will work fine. So all those things are improvements we did from the previous generation to the second generation, and imagine how it's going to be in the third one.
How do you decide what makes the cut? Because when you're going to develop a new product and you're probably already looking ahead to the next version of this or the version after that, how do you determine, okay, this is something we're going to focus on and bring to this model? Is there a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor?
It comes from different directions, like different places. Like sometimes our community is quite important to us. They give a lot of feedback for us, and we really take that seriously. But we also are watching what people are saying on the social networks, what they like, what is outstanding to them, what grabbed their eyes. And when they buy the product and come back and comment, what are they really enjoying from that? So we pay attention on that, but also on the other hand, we pay attention in competitors. We try to understand the market trends and what is really important, and it's going to be the next big thing, and if we should be there or not, if it's something that is like vaporware or fluffy, and we should not pay attention to that and focus on the fundamentals, or no, this is something important, we should start development, we should start implementing. All those things are taken consideration. And for us, quality and cost should walk very tight. So we cannot compromise quality, but we also cannot compromise on cost. So the price should be a fair price for what you have.
If I look back at the past couple of months, we've got the latest, the Pad 2, obviously. You've got the new watch, you've got the new buds, you've got the new phone, obviously. Are there any stories that you've heard, whether it's from the community or someone within OnePlus itself, that stood out to you as like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought that they would use this product for that, or just a different way that someone is using maybe the Pad, or even a combination of the ecosystem in a way that you didn't intend for it. You're like, oh my God, that's cool.
Well, this happens all the time. It's hard to pick one now and tell you, oh, this was something.
I'm putting you on the spot. I understand it. Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah, but there are so many different uses, right? And I think those products that are so versatile, like you can use for so many things. But I think like when we are dividing the line, creating the line that divide like what we should a product have or not, looking for what end users are saying. A good example is this new watch, the 2R, the OnePlus 2R. And the reason why is because the OnePlus watch that we have now, the Watch 2, it's an amazing product. Has a stainless steel body, has like sapphire glass in the top, like everything's premium, but the price is quite affordable.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the 2R, it's like listen to the end user saying, hey, maybe I don't want that stainless steel. Aluminum will be fine for me. Maybe I don't need this kind of sapphire glass that is super expensive. And if we remove those two things, can we make a more affordable watch? Because I want to have that kind of software, that kind of functionality, that kind of product, but I don't want to pay that amount of money. Can I pay less without that? Because I'll be happy with if you remove that and put something that is fair. So that's how the 2R watch was born. Listen to the community and understanding. Oh, that's why. Okay, got it. Let's work on that. Let's see what we can do.
I find there's a lot of assumption in this world, in the tech space, where people will put out a product and say, well, we assume that you want this, so we're giving to you, and that's the only choice you have. And unfortunately, that's driving the price up on certain things. And it's really, but at the same time, it's working, I think, in the advantage of OnePlus because there's no compromise on quality here. On the contrary, some could put these devices side by side with competitors and say, wait a second, this is a much better offering. Now let's look at the price. Oh, wait a second, it's half the price of my competitor. Why on earth the question's out the window at that point, which I find is an interesting and a great success in terms of what you guys are doing. So applause for that. Let's talk about AI for a second, because every company has a different outlook on the way AI can integrate into its products. What is that OnePlus point of view on how it should be used?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Thank you for making that question, because a lot of people get confused about, oh, this device has AI, but what really you want from AI, right? So AI, we have to have in mind that AI is software. All AI is software. And very good AI that is available in the market now, I would say 80% happens on the cloud. So you have to have a good internet connectivity for that. And some of it, it's happening on the device. And for that, you need the best processor available with AI capabilities, which Snapdragon is doing a great job from Qualcomm. So we support the best possible hardware for that. So we focus on delivering the best hardware possible you can have to run any AI software in your devices. Plus, some people expect that our devices comes with some AI already there. They don't need to install or look for it. And for that, we are providing a lot of capabilities for our new OS, the Oxygen OS. It's bringing, little by little, it's bringing more and more AI capabilities and features, like summarizing conversations or removing people from pictures that's undesirable to be there in that picture, or making every face of everyone like with eyes open and smiling. This kind of different kinds of applications that runs on the device, and we leverage the powerful processor of Snapdragon, the Gen 8 the 8 Gen 3. Sometimes I get confused with that because it changes every year, but doesn't change like the naming. But it's cool. It's cool to have this kind of features on the device, but it's also really, really, really important that you have in mind as a manufacturer, as an OEM, like we say, that we provide the best hardware possible for any AI application you want to put on that. If you want to install the Microsoft Copilot, if you want to use the Chat GPT, if you want to use like browsing AI capabilities like the Leonardo or with Gen AI, whatever, it will work the best way possible in our devices. And that's what we are looking for. The best possible integration we can do to leverage the hardware we support in our devices to the end user and being like a seamless usage of AI, whatever they want. We don't want them to be stuck or somehow imprisoned by the AI we put in our device, and other AIs should not run in your device. That's not how we look at. We look like, hey, we have the best hardware here for any AI you want to use, as long as that AI is available for you to install in your device.
I love that. You're giving people the option. Like, we know we're capable. Here's what we're capable of doing. You make the decision now. What do you want to use? And I like that because you're not pigeonholing people into one direction that you think is right. You're not making the assumption that you can do it the right way like other people do. You're saying you have the choice to do that, and I love that. I want to respect your time. I could probably keep you here for another 2 hours, but looking down the road, I don't expect you to give me any scoops here. But what do you see the future of the product lineup? Whether it's the entire ecosystem of what you guys are doing, whether it's from the phones, the watches, the buds, the pad. Where do you see this in a couple of years from now? How do you see this evolving? We're just gonna start getting sleeker, better resolution, thinner. What's the focus?
Hey, when we talk about future and technology, that's the trickiest question that every journalist wants to do it, right? And it's super hard for us to answer because technology changed so fast, man. If you look back like 3 years ago, what was AI?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
And now everything has to be about AI or have
yeah.
to have some flavor or some twist on AI. So I can tell you that I can foresee the next 1 year, the next 12 months. I can foresee what is coming. I can have a good idea what's coming for the next 18 months,
Maybe.
and I can have some good guesses for 24 months. But whatever is beyond the 24 months, 2 years, is just a wild guess for anyone in this market. And if they say something different for that, they don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to be a show off. The reality is you have to move along with the waves and where the waves are leading you. You have to surf them, not try to create one.
Well, guess what? You and OnePlus are good surfers, just to let you know. For those interested who are listening, if you want to get the OnePlus Pad, again, starting at $689.99 Canadian, incredible trade-in offers, incredible discount offers on bundles that include the Buds 3, with the Pad 2, the Watch 2R. So many cool things. Marcel, I'm looking forward to playing with the Pad 2. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But thank you so much for taking the time. You have to come back on when that wave comes around a little bit more so we can talk more about what is coming up next.
Glad to be here. Thank you very much for the time.